The Neon Ghost Show.
Are you ready?
How are you?
Good, man. Good. It was a release day for a big product, so it was just stressful trying to get that stuff in and get customers taken care of and everything else. So it was a good day. It was a good day. Got back from the Portland show. Portland was nuts.
More
Yeah,
nuts than the Tacoma one?
it was.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah, we did really, really well. I've always priced and kind and things like that. Whether you walk up to some tables and the people are like looking at their phones instead of actually talking to people, you know?
Dude, I noticed that when I came to the one, like I noticed the people who were completely standoffish unless you were like, hey, can I get this? Blah blah. And then there's the
Yeah.
ones like you guys that are like, oh hey, what's up? You got questions, blah blah. The cool thing about you guys, a couple other ones too, was like, even if it wasn't about what you have, you're like, hey, go over here. Like when I brought you my UFC ones, you were like, Robbie, take these to this aisle, go down here and see this guy. Like that's the thing I like
Yeah.
about you guys.
Yeah, well, that's what makes that's what really makes the card community come together is when you're not just out for yourself and like you can help somebody else either get it to somebody with better expertise so they can tell them what the cards are about, or if they are going to pay a higher percentage, like that's it keeps them coming back for more, it keeps them interested in the hobby too.
Yeah.
It's fun to make an extra buck here and there, but man, when you can see them like get excited about learning about their card or getting that extra 5% because it's their first card show selling something to somebody, it's so rad. It really is.
So, as you said, the hobby, I'm going to assume before you opened the shop, this has always been a hobby for you.
Yeah. It was always a hobby of mine, but I collected more of like the like movie cards, like
Yeah.
comic cards, movie cards. So I would collect like Who Framed Roger Rabbit or Batman. I'd collect like the whole set of those and put it, like 1 through 200. And that's back when there were actual like wax packs that you peeled open.
And they came with the
Um,
chalk hard gum.
Loved those, loved them. Yeah, yeah. They came with all that, and that was what was fun for me. They had scenes of
Yeah.
all the movies, and there's movies like not to sound super old, but like VHS. Like we couldn't afford a VHS, so if I wanted to see Batman, guess what? I'm looking at card 1 through 200 to understand the movie.
Yeah.
It was a good time, but
And
yeah,
then, well, there was also the Rambo ones.
yeah.
Yeah.
Rambo, man, Desert Storm, Rambo, everything, Ninja Turtles, all kinds of stuff, and all
So
that's making a comeback.
I was going to say, what re-sparked this resurgence with cards? Because it seems like when we were super little, it was a big thing, and then it kind of died off and went away. And then the last handful of years, it's blown up again. What's brought that back?
COVID, honestly. People had extra money and they couldn't leave the house. So they went online to start buying things. And then it made the huge boom. The rookie class, honestly, like 2020 football was huge for everybody as well. With Justin Herbert was a big one, Joe Burrow, Hurts. That really helped explode the hobby. And then people started figuring out how to use eBay more. So now they're selling cards that way. Because back in the day, it was like Beckett, right? So like if you wanted to trade with somebody or sell something, you put it inside a Beckett magazine, you got somebody's address from them, and you'd literally trade cards that way.
Yep.
And eBay had changed everything for us, and now there's multiple platforms that you can sell on. But when COVID happened, people had a lot of extra money, and what we have found is like entertainment. No matter what's happening inside our world, entertainment always does really well. People want to get out and go see movies. They want to open up cards. They want to lose what like the crazy that's happening and be able to focus on something else. And cards really helps people. And I know that personally, being 5.5 years sober from alcohol, I started with Donruss football again, opening those up, and like I would look at every aspect of the card. I loved everything about the card. That it stopped me from wanting a drink. If I wanted a drink, I'd open up a pack, look at the rated rookies, understand all the stats, and yeah, it helped. And that's again, entertainment for people is huge.
And then there's also the added factor of you pro wrestling cards are making a comeback now, and the UFC cards are blowing up. And then, like you said, the sports ones, when there's the gambling facts like inside of when you open it, what am I going to get? And you may not even like this player, but you have his rookie card or his auto or something like that. But then when you get like one of your guys, it adds another like yes to it.
Oh, yeah, it's an absolute blessing. Well, and you make a reference like the wrestling and stuff. The change that's happening like with the wrestling cards, like Fanatics got the license to WWE. Panini had it before, and they were doing a good job. Well, when you get the machine of Fanatics, the marketing machine behind something, now you have like WWE is parented with UFC, so now they have this huge enterprise out there. Now Fanatics is making those cards for both companies, and it's exploded. And like non-sports, like entertainment cards are shooting through the roof, like Pokemon, One Piece, things like that are huge right now. Wrestling cards, UFC cards, as you alluded to, are massive right now. And
Like
like the rookie cards, right? Like
yeah.
Hamza Chimaev, 2021, his Chronicles rookie, absolutely crazy. Like the UFC card father, when we were at the show and we are talking about it, you have like Nate Diaz rookies, John Jones from the Topps cards back in the day, Joe Rogan's, rookie card
Yeah,
that they
that one
call it on
shocked
there.
me. But it was like the only one they made or something. And yeah,
Yeah, Dana White just bought it. Dana White just bought his rookie card, and he just bought I believe it was the gold PSA 10 Joe Rogan. Yeah, he just bought both of those cards.
yeah, but like
And
since meeting you and then learning stuff, and then when I was at the show, you taught me stuff, the card father taught me stuff. I got the next time we physically see each other, I'm gonna bring my whole collection to you because like you
yeah,
have no clue. I've gone off the chain with this. I last night the kid and I were opening UFC packs and I was teaching her put the base cards here and then the chaos ones, and then I was showing her their values, all that stuff. But this is
yeah.
what I gotta ask you. Explain, because this is the part that's confusing to me. All the differences. There's the simple base card of like
Hmm.
just let's just
Yeah.
go a UFC card. There's the simple base silver, right?
Yep.
And then all the variants from that.
Yeah. So it'll start just your common card, your base card, right? And then from there, there's going to be multiple parallels along the way. So there'll be your common, just your base card. Then they're going to make like a refractor, right? So that one is going to be where you kind of move it a little bit and it look like a rainbow across. It's silver, but you shine in the light, looks like a rainbow. Then they're going to make multiple different colors of that card. Each color generally means what it's numbered out of. Like Tops, red is out of 5. So when you
Wow,
open it,
really?
you're looking and you're like, holy crap, I got a red. Like you're like in your brain, it's out of 5. Or like superfractors
Wow.
are like goldish, like the not gold, but they're like a more like yellowish gold, are like 101 superfractors. So each color is just a different parallel, and they had to do that because the junk wax era, like 80s, 90s, early 2000s, they made hundreds of thousands of the same card, all base cards, and everybody on all the infomercials were selling cards everywhere. There's no way to differentiate like what's expensive. So then they come out with serial numbered cards, and that was at Donruss Elite. They did that for baseball cards, and then they wanted more parallels. So people are up, people say it now like we're in junk wax 2.0. I can't argue too much because like there's 50 parallels of the same card. So it's the same action shot, just different colors of the
Yeah.
rainbow, basically. Yeah.
So then when you say a red, like hypothetically in wrestling, I have a red, well, it'd be a red refractor Eddie Guerrero.
Mhm.
So if that would be a 5, but if it doesn't have the gold 1 through 5 on it, does that still count?
No. So then that's a different colored red. So there's like red shimmer. That would be like a first off the line, which means those boxes have actually special cards in there. There can be a red refractor. There can be a red cracked ice. There can just be just a standard red in there. So it's looking at the checklist. There's a website called Cardboard Connection as well, and you can go on there and type in what you're looking for or what the set is called, and then they'll actually go through all the different parallels with you and help you with the education. I have to do that before every set. I have to go on there and look at every single different short print, which are SPs or SSPs, which are super short prints. Because then all that means is he's holding the bat this way. In the other photo, he's holding the bat this way. And that
Wow,
could be that just that simple, right? It's
dude.
crazy.
And then you see the
Yeah.
ones that are on like sometimes you see them on social media where it's they misspelled a guy's name on one or something like
Yep.
that adds another nuts factor. Like it, like you were saying, which congratulations on the sobriety, but it is what you said. It's just that factor of what's going to be in here? Like, and then even if, some of them are just simple base cards, but then like I got a Frank Mir Chaos.
Yeah,
You look on eBay, you look online, it's worth $1.09. Who cares? Frank Mir's my guy. Like when I started watching UFC, he was my
yeah,
favorite heavyweight. Like, oh, I'm keeping that in the personal collection. I'm not selling that. Like,
yeah.
there's always these added, like, this is awesome.
Absolutely. I love Frank Mir, by the way. Him and Rodrigo Nogueira, when he snapped his arm, I was so
Dude,
bummed out. I was bummed out that them two had to fight to begin with. And then when Mir kept fighting and Glass Jaw, I was like, man, please stop. And now his daughter's in jiu-jitsu. She's a beast.
beast, beast.
Yeah.
She's so
My
good.
goodness, she's good. Yeah.
And then they do now in the new era we have, they also have, so you said the base cards were parallels. So then what are inserts?
So inserts are a way for them to do different action shots of the athlete character or anything else like that and give it a different name. Like you said, like chaos, right? It could be Frank Mir, his base card is him holding a championship belt.
Okay.
Then the chaos card, the chaos insert is him elbowing somebody. And that's just an insert. It's nothing special. It's just another line in the base cards. So
Okay.
it's another card in the set.
Which that's the same thing with what's the other ones? Headliners and intimidators. They're their own
Correct.
base cards, and there's parallels off that.
Yeah, yeah, and then they
Okay.
get and nowadays, like when we were opening up the box at the last event, they trick you and they put some gold borders on these cards, and then you get excited because they're intimidators in these next ones.
Yeah.
And usually, when you go and you're like, "It's gold. Is it out of 10? Like it's gold," and you open it, and it's like, "No, it's an insert that is gold."
Or you get the ones like I actually opened the what is it, yellow gold checkerboard refractor Chuck Liddell, and it's the same one that I opened with you, but yours was a die cut, and that's a whole nother thing where they make little.
Yeah,
It's nuts. It's awesome.
it it is. It's awesome and it's fun. And then some people get those graded. Some people. And what's nice about all the parallels that I enjoy is that real collectors, a lot of collectors who are like hardcore with it will complete rainbows of all the different parallels. So like a really
Oh,
cool one to look at is like Steve Aoki. That guy has like rainbows of some of the biggest UFC cards out there. Huge Sean O'Malley fan. He has the entire rainbow from the Superfractor, the 1 of 1, all the way to like I think it's like 199. But each numbered would be a different color,
yeah.
and he has the entire set. The entire rainbow is what you call it.
So then when you said graded, what does that mean for people that don't know or don't understand?
Yeah, so graded cards are where you can send it into companies. PSA is right now currently the largest one, despite what kind of stuff's going on with them. But basically, it's a scale of 1 through 10 of letting you know exactly how perfect your card is, and they take that based upon the surface, the surface corners, and they measure your card to make sure that it's centered. So like the photograph is actually centered in there well, and then they give you a score based on that. And crazy enough, the 1989 Ken Griffey Jr. card from Upper Deck, that was the first card with PSA to hit over 100,000 times being graded with PSA. It was graded so many times that they now grade the sticker on the back, the diamond on the back of the card. They actually look at that now to grade the card. Your card could be absolutely immaculate. If your sticker's off, PSA 9, which is right under the PSA 10. But the PSA 10 and 9, we're talking thousands of dollar
I would say
difference in
big
price.
difference in money.
Yep,
And
yep,
you said that was graded so much in the sticker. That comes from what you were saying of them producing so many of them, people have so many of them that they had to somehow differentiate. We can't say hypothetically, there's 10 million of these cards out there. We can't just say they're all worth $100,000. Like we have to
right.
figure it out, and then it just whittled it down so much that okay, now we have to start going off the sticker.
Exactly. Because PSA, if you look at the older certification numbers, which when your card gets graded, they're going to give you a certification number so you can actually look on their website and it'll show you a photo of your card graded inside the case, tell you what ranking you have. um, but you look at the older certification numbers and they didn't care about the sticker on the back. So the sticker could be wonky and it could still be a PSA 10. It's
That's
very
funny.
interesting.
That's funny. So how long ago? I know I saw the shop before the remodel, but how long has the shop in Bellingham been open?
2 years and 5 months.
And I like it. I think it's in a cool little spot. I liked it before the remodel. It felt very,
Yeah.
you go to, and I'm not knocking him. I've been in there, they're a competitor, but I've been in there just to see. But I went to Collectors
Oh yeah,
Northwest, something like that.
in Bellevue, I
Yes.
think.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, just to look around and see and stuff. And I'm not knocking them, but it felt, I don't know the right way. It felt less personal than the first time I walked
Yeah.
into your shop. It was,
Yeah.
we talked, who I was right off the bat. Then when I introduced myself, we had talked before, but even before saying who I was, you guys were like, "Hey, what's up? Like, what are you looking for? What's going on?" Like, that's the thing I like about your shop is it's very like collector friendly rather than, "Oh, you're here and we're going to take your money for this box and go back to our TV."
Yeah. I wanted the new school like shop, the look, the openness, the bright, the price tags on every single thing, big and bold. So when you walk in there, they're not like the Starburst on there. But I also didn't want to make it seem like a museum. Like everything is behind glass.
Yes, that
Everything
that
is where you can't put your hands on it. That little kiddos can't go up there and go grab a pack. Like I growing up and being able to go take a pack and like myself and I'm picking out the special pack or things like that always was special to me. And I want to give the same kind of experience to anybody who walks in from being a 5-year-old that comes into a 40-year-old that comes in. It's still special to them even though my shop is small, it makes up for it in for one, the customer service, and two, the pricing, and then just the diverse that we carry from $5 packs up to $50 packs, right? But no matter if you're in there for the $5 pack or the $50 pack, it's the same experience that you're going to get every time. And
yeah.
that's your first time in, you get a free pack with us. For the little kiddos, it's your birthday, free pack. A's and B's, free pack. It's to get them excited and get them into the hobby and it's just our way of giving back to the community because that's what I want with when I bring my kids into stores like that. I want them to have an experience that's gonna build that memory in them that they're gonna tell their kids about the first time they went to a hobby shop.
Yeah, fair, fair. When someone brings something in, let's say to sell, or I know you guys don't grade, but you have an in-house guy who will look at it to see if it should get graded. If I bring, let's just say same card, but this one is in a case PSA graded, let's just say 5.7. This one's in the little plastic case, but no grading. You're looking at both of them. How does that work in terms of whether you're going to buy it or not? Like, what do you guys look for?
So it would depend on like the age of the card. So if you're bringing in a card that's a 56 mantle, right, and it's in like a low grade 5-6 grade, that's still an expensive card. And if it's raw, this is where like vintage comes in. If it's going to be like a 5-6 mantle, you're still talking about hundreds and hundreds of dollars, right? Raw, if it's in immaculate condition, that can still be hundreds of dollars just in that raw condition as well because if it's getting graded, it's the idea that it can get a higher grade, so we're going to pay higher with that. Newer cards are a little bit different. Um, if you bring in like a 5 or 6 in a 2024 football product, it's like the value of a raw card basically, because it's a low quality card. The corners could be dinged up, surface can be scratched, things like that. So it's not going to have the value of the raw one that comes in that's in beautiful shape. We would have to pay more for that because our customers will buy that with the hopes of grading it to get a high number on it.
That makes sense.
And
What?
truthfully, I'll tell you, man, sorry, but when I buy the cheaper slabs, like the 5s and 6s, if I'm buying them, I use those for giveaways. So I still pick things like that up. When we go to Front Row or any of those other ones, we use them to give them to little kids when we ask what their favorite player is. And then we have something for them.
That
So
makes
they're
sense.
still valuable to somebody out there because a lot of those kids, this graded cards are expensive, and if we can
Yeah.
give them to somebody, they're gonna get excited.
And like I said, especially if that's their favorite player, and that may jumpstart them now to go out collecting simply because you handed it to them.
Yeah, exactly.
What is, I see it all the time. What is the difference between like a card and a slab? What is it slab?
A slab is just a slang word for a graded card inside the plastic holder that comes from either PSA, Beckett, things like that. It's just a
Okay.
slang word for it. A slabbed card,
In that
a
hard
a
case.
a graded card in a hard case.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. And then single is just single. I'm just holding the card.
You're just holding a raw card. Yep.
Gotcha. Now, here's my question, because again, you have messed me up with this stuff. I've been on eBay, you told me, and the other thing I've learned delving into this is, and this is what I can't imagine how you do this for a living, but I understand why you do, but just simply building out my collection, and you create, the spreadsheet with the names and the numbers, but
Mhm.
then you go look at PSA and ungraded, I look at 9.5. But then, eBay, the other websites you go look at for how much did it sell for, all this, like that's so time consuming. Sometimes
Yeah,
it's also a letdown of like, I thought this would be worth more and it's not. But
yeah,
when I'm on eBay and I've been checking out eBay Live, these auctions going on.
yeah.
How are these guys making money when they're opening packs and then they're selling a card and the bidding starts at $1 and let's say that card goes for $7? I don't
Mhm.
understand how, if Ryno was doing this, how are you guys making money? I don't get it. Especially if it's a one of one rookie card or whatever, but during the auction it only sold for $20. Like, how are these guys making money off of this?
I mean, to pull back the curtain a little bit, you have to like we get our stuff from distributors, right? So we have distributor pricing, which is obviously sorry, a little bit. It's less than you're going to find it like on the shelves because we have to make the
Fair.
profit with it.
As every industry does.
Everything, right? So like Whatnot and eBay Live, when they're selling their individual cards, these guys are buying it at, they're if they're just doing the individual cards, they're buying it at such a low margin generally, that they can lose some margin, or they can lose some of the profit in there when they're going to be selling singles.
Yeah.
But your big streamers aren't losing money because they're generally doing repacks, and repacks is where you're going to put a graded card inside a mystery bag, and people will buy those, and they're usually averaged out. You're going to make money. That's my personal problem right now with online, is that just the profit that some of these guys are making. There's new Tops baseball that came out today, and going online, one of the least expensive box that we found was $420. It's 350 in my shop today, and that's even expensive. They're going for like 370, 380 for the new Tops Chrome. Um, but I'm looking at that, I'm like, man, that's just wildly expensive. So we go online on TikTok, and we want to bring the card shop to everybody's home. We want to be that affordable price for it, even when it's, I say that and I'm like, holy crap, like 350 is not affordable. It's, I don't even like getting high on my own supply. Like I open that, I'm like, whew, that's a lot of money, even though we get it at a better rate than others, obviously. But to answer your question with it, they're making the money because they're obviously getting it a lot less, a lot cheaper. And their markup is significant, especially on eBay. Those are big boys who are selling on eBay right now
Yeah,
because they're only letting in certain people.
yeah, that didn't dawn that makes sense. You see that part didn't dawn on me. Um the other thing I noticed is when we were little, it was what? Tops, Upper Deck, Fleer, Donruss.
Don Russ, yeah,
That was about it, right?
yeah, yeah. That was, yeah. Upper Deck, Fleer, Don Russ, Tops, yeah. And like back in the day, there was Bowman.
Bowman.
So yeah, so Tops had acquired quite a bit of that. Upper Deck had brought some of that in as well. And then Panini, they're always around. They basically are like the hub, and they make Donruss products now. So like
Okay.
they'll have like Donruss football, Donruss baseball, or Panini Donruss baseball, and then like Prism and all that stuff. Just picture like the umbrella and then a bunch of little danglies off of it. That's what they did. So they just kind of brought all that in. Like Fleer, is Upper Deck, so they make like Fleer Metal, like Metal Universe. So they'll do that where, that's still actually because Upper Deck has the rights to Michael Jordan and Tiger Woods. So the only way for you to pull a Michael Jordan card is not in a basketball box. It's in actually an Upper Deck like Metal Universe style box, or Goodwin Champions, things like that. And those are all just names that Upper Deck puts out, but they have Tiger Woods and Jordan in there.
Do Is there a time when Michael Jordan cards went out of style? Like, are Michael Jordan cards still, even from how you said with the overpriced 80s, 90s, like, are those cards still valuable even though they made 100,000 back then? But would a 89, 90, somewhere in there, Michael Jordan still be valuable in today's cards?
Yeah, so the 1986 Fleer Jordan is it's considered his rookie, even though he has an 85. The 86 is considered his rookie. I'm gonna get this wrong, but I want to say like a Beckett 10, like a perfect Beckett 10. I think there's like 10 out there in the world, I want to say. Than PSA, there's significantly more. Beckett grades harder than PSA does. Um, that card is incredibly valuable. I tried to buy an 8 at this last card show, and we're talking about, you know, $7,000. Like it's for an 8. It's not even a perfect card. Yeah,
But
it's incredible.
that was for personal collection. You were putting that on the shelf.
Listen, everything's for sale. Everything's for
There it is.
sale. But I mean,
There it is.
there's certain things that I really enjoy. I've never owned one. I've never owned a Michael Jordan rookie card before. One day I will. That I wasn't spending that kind of cash at this card show on that card yet.
Is there, if personal collection at the house right now, is there one card you have, and it like like I have, we talk about golf cards. That's the other thing. Like golf, the sport has blown up, which has in turn made golf cards blow up. I got a Bryson DeChambeau, and honestly, we were talking about this at Koga. One of the things I like about some of these cards is they are what I feel art was way back when it was like you went to, like in the movies when they go to someone's house and they have a Picasso or a Pollock or whatever. Some of these cards are just artwork. Like I said, I found this DeChambeau and it's numbered, graded, there, all this stuff. The only reason I bought it was because it's literally him walking off. It's not action on it. It's him walking off a green. And I don't know if he's won, whatever, but he's tipping his hat. So it's not an action. It's nothing, but it's my favorite golfer. It was a beautiful photo period. So that's the thing. Like let's say I brought it to you, you could offer me $1,000. I'm not selling that card. Like that's my card. That's my guy. So for you, what is the one card you have that no?
It is from 2024, so it's a newer card. I am a diehard Raiders fan, and one of my best buddies bought it for me. It's a Max Crosby horizontal. It says Raiders. It's a black and silver patch. It's a 2 of 5 auto from Max Crosby. Coolest card that I've seen. Cool, yeah, it's an amazing card. That and my 1 of 1 dad card that my daughter got for me. That also is pretty darn cool.
That's for my Koga from you guys also. Like that's literally, it's on the shelf in my bedroom sitting up by the TV. When you gave me that pack, I brought it home and I gave the pack to the kid because she knows the fighters. She gets so much. She was like, Dad, you have a card. I was like, I do. You can have that one. Boom, look at mine. Is it a case signed? She's like, that's not fair. I was like, you're right, it's not, but it's in my room on a thing. So what is I'm gonna assume it's a Pokemon card, but what is the rarest, most valuable right now, let's say this current timeline, sports card out there?
So I'll tell you the rarest one so far, that there's a couple that have not been found yet. Steph Curry's rookie card is 1 of 1 rookie, has not been found yet. The Luka Doncic Prism Black Finite 1 of 1 supposedly has not been found yet. The triple auto from Topps Now, that was Steph Curry, LeBron, and I want to say Kevin Durant. I'm going to realize it, but it was a triple auto that it was basically you bought Topps Now cards, and that card could have been inserted in them from like that, like Olympic pack. People are still trying to look for that to see where that is. Those are 3 that haven't been found that are going to go for ridiculous prices once they get found. Because I mean, obviously people go ahead.
Auto being that auto signature being on it.
It's signed on the card. Yeah, for those 3 players, and it's in the 1 of 1. And so somebody out there has the redemption for it because the card's still sitting at Topps. So somebody in a pack, in a sealed pack that they haven't opened up, that redemption is sitting there. And the redemption is where you can scratch off the back, type in the code on the website, and then redeem your card. Well, Topps on those higher end cards, those like special cards, they don't put them in packs. They want to know exactly where that card is. So that card's still sitting at the top set. like the Paul Skeens debut patch. So now rookies will wear a debut patch on their jersey for their debut. They're doing it in the UFC and everything now. And then at the end of the game, it gets taken off and it gets put into a card at Fanatics. So like right now, Topps Chrome Update came out today. The big chase are the debut cards. So last year for 24 for Paul Skeens, Dick's Sporting Goods actually bought his debut card. I believe it was 1.2 million dollars, and it's in a showcase at a Dick's Sporting Goods location.
Wow, that's the other thing I like. And when we were little collecting cards and all that stuff, but now when you get pieces of the fight worn gear or the mat or just these random things that come in, like that adds more, like, also to the just like, what are we doing? Like that's why it's so much fun.
Robbie, I'm sitting there. We're doing one of our lives, right? And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, oh, hey guys, this is a chunky one. Now this is a box that's $800. Okay, you get one box inside of there with 7 cards. I'm like, you guys, tape's not holding down. Anyways, long story short, I open it, piece of a cleat. It's a piece of the player's cleat inside of it. Mind blown. Like I was like, this is game use piece of his cleat. It was insane. We've had pieces of like the gloves, the bats, helmets, things like that. But when you open it, it's a chunk card of a piece of a cleat. Look that up when we're done. Incredible. I mean, that's
awesome.
That's fun. That's rare, and it's just so darn unique. And I love that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff that I enjoy to collect. That are not just your common cards out there.
Or I've been seeing what is it? Joker's Wild. Is that what it's called? Where it's a player and then like the Jokers colored in behind them or drawn behind them on a card.
That might be from Wild Card.
That's the company. Are they are they
they're unlicensed?
Okay, that's what I was. Okay.
That's what makes it's fun. The artwork is fun. Yeah. There's a couple companies that make unlicensed product. The two big ones right now are Leaf, which used to make licensed cards back in the day. Leaf used to be on that. I have a Greg Maddux Leaf card, rookie. But anyways, so they don't have the rights to be able to put logos on them like Fanatics has baseball. Panini can't put licensing logos on their baseball product, but Topps can because Topps has a license to it. Gotcha. Wildcard's the same thing, but Wildcard can get the autos of all of these guys. Like they get Paul Skeens autos. They get, everybody. Ashton Genty. I have a couple. I'm being a Raiders fan. I have some autos of Ashton Genty, which that's the thing of the card community that always is mind-boggling. Me being a huge Raiders fan, I want the auto. Like I didn't care what the card was licensed, had a logo of the Raiders or not. Ashton Genty signed the sticker. It's a sticker of him on there, or it's his picture. I'm good to go. Yeah. I can get that for $100, or I could buy the one with the Raider logo on there for $400. $100's looking pretty darn good right now. It's an auto.
Yeah, that's what I like. It was that, and then there was one that was it was an Aaron Rodgers is my favorite quarterback simply because when I started paying attention to football, he was playing. But he's the last of that generation. So the fact he's still playing, like he's my guy. He went to the Jets. Well, now I'm a Jets fan. He's still I'm a diehard Cowboys fan. I know you're a Raiders fan, and now we got a beef. But the kicker I always have with people is I'm a Seattle's fan because I've lived here for 20 something years now. But I've been a Cowboys fan since 7th grade, and way back when parents were teaching me about football, and it was Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, like those guys. Parents were like, okay, hey, that can be your team, but here's the thing. Next season when they lose or that you can't jump teams, like that has to be your team. So it's always been my team. But living here, I'm a Seahawks fan unless they play the Cowboys. So but in terms of, Drew Brees just retired, like those guys, Aaron Rodgers still being out there doing it and liking him from way back when. I'm always looking at his cards, and I saw they have these ones now. Wild may do them, I don't know, but they're monster, and there's like a werewolf or something behind him. Like
Wild Card. That's who makes those.
Wild makes those too. Again, as artwork, those are nuts when it's Aaron Rodgers, but there's a werewolf behind him. It's like, what are we doing? Yeah,
so that's the Halloween edition ones. We actually have those in the shop. We have a box that could have that in there. One of the customers actually hit a 101 Mike Tyson out of that. So it was an
They have fight
auto
cards in
Mike
two.
Tyson. It's a multi-sport. It's sick. He got
Oh,
that, and then the next box he got a Nick Kurtz 1-of-1. So like one of the boxes had a Mike Tyson, and there's only 4 of these special ones in a case, and somehow I only bought I think 10 boxes out of the case, but somehow we got 2 of the case hits inside of it. It was fantastic for the customers. But yeah, it's multi-sport. The ones that have like the werewolf and stuff with it. It was all Halloween edition.
yeah. It's not like I was saying, it's just nuts the things people are doing with these cards, but it goes back to just making it awesome and fun in the artwork. Or like I said the other day when I was opening packs with a kid, like I had some, she had some, and we would just trade off. And I was teaching her what you taught me of scroll through and you see silver, silver. Oh, there's a yellow. What's this going to be? And so then she's
Yeah,
holding them up and she's turning them. Dad, this one's rainbow. And so then now she's making her stack over here so we can look them up. Like it just makes it so much fun again.
yeah. When you fan it out a little bit and you see a little bit of color, it's like,
Yeah.
oh man, then you can gather around and look. And that's why we have a table inside the shop. It's our ripping table. We have supplies out there for everybody who rips with us. There's always free supplies, free one touches to put all your cool cards in. Which like that's the magnetic case that we gave you guys at
Yeah.
Koga for your card. But everyone gets free supplies because we want to celebrate their hits, and then we want to teach them how to take care of it as well.
Yeah.
That way they can keep it forever or send it off to get graded.
Could they potentially turn around and sell it back to you?
Every day they do, every
Really?
single day. Yeah, I mean, because when's your card? Okay, I mean this it's going to be hotter, but like initial day release, majority of these cards are never going to be hotter than they are that day. So when you open it, Shador Sanders, right before he got his start, opening day of these cards, his cards are at a peak. Then all of a sudden he's third string, fourth string, and
Oh,
they're like,
fair,
oh man, nobody wants this crap
fair. Okay.
anymore. But now he's starting. Now they're all huge again, right? But that I never sell something to a customer that I wouldn't buy back myself.
Yeah.
So we sell them, and then we go through teach them how to comp the cards. Very transparent with the customers on where we're looking at the prices of them and how much they're going for. On first day releases, we show how we compare it to other years. That way we can give them a very good understanding of why we're making the offer that we are. And as long as we're educating them on what we're doing and how we're looking, then we feel confident, obviously, confident making the offer to them and educated to them. If it's a card that can grade well, I always tell them try to grade the card yourself. Like let's go that route instead. Then come back to me when it's a PSA 10. Let me buy it at the higher price. You go through that process and get excited about getting a 10, and then come back to me if you want to do it, or put the thing up on your mantle and celebrate the card that you have. Be a
Yep.
collector.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one and you were explaining this to me, but we were time crunched. So I have a card and I'm going to send it to PSA, and it's a price per card that I send them, and then they grade it, send it back to me. But then I also, if it's a certain grade, then I may have to pay them more to send it back. It's so
Yeah.
confusing and seems so expensive to get cards graded.
It's called an upcharge. Now there's different ways to look at it, because if you say your card's $500, when you send it in, it'll be a certain fee.
If
Let's
I
just
say,
say
if I say I think this card's worth $500.
correct.
Okay.
And so raw, it could be $500, and you pay, let's just say, $25 to send it in. Once they grade it into PSA 10, PSA will then say, hey, that $500 card is now $5,000. So now you go up in the bracket, and now you're paying to submit a $5,000 card instead of a 200 or instead of a $500 card. So you're paying the difference. That's what an upcharge is with it. That it's such a gray area thing for collectors right now, because it's like you already took the time to grade it. Like, why am I paying the extra money because I got a
That's my,
10?
yeah.
Right? Because CGC, SGC, and Beckett they don't charge you for the extra upcharge with it. Just PSA, but PSA is also the number one leading in grading, and that's one of the things is that at this last show, I love tag grading. It's AI grading. There's slabs, the card holder, beautiful. People have an issue with them right now. For a while, their slabs are kind of coming apart. You can just pop it open, which is scary because then somebody could put a different card inside of it, like a less quality of a card, same card, like same image, but a less quality, and then snap it back together, and it'd
Oh,
be
I got you.
different.
Yeah.
So they're kind of falling off with it. But I was trying to sell some of those tags. People were trying to give me a super low comp on it because it wasn't PSA, and it's just, if it's not PSA, unfortunately, you don't get top tier dollar for it compared to some of the other grading companies.
That's the thing. Like that's the thing. Like it's so like I mean, and props to them. They
I
they
know,
set the benchmark. They like do what you want, but it's still just like this. Come on, man. I sent them and the fact that like the even like a single card, I can't remember what it is, but let's just say it's $20 to send a single card. But what if I want to send you 10? Now, how much is that? And then you're also going to tell me I got to pay you more to get my cards back. Okay, well, what if I just want you to grade it out of 5 and send it back to me? Like, what are we
right?
doing? So
Right. So you
weird.
can do authentic too. You can just send it to them and say, I just want my card authenticated. So you send it to them authenticated, they'll slab it. It's just authenticated, and then you just pay your normal fee. It's when that grade gets on there that jumps it up in price or lowers the price, honestly.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
What
yeah, it's
is
tough.
at a show? What is the best card that came across the table? Or maybe someone brought in the shop. I don't know. But what's the greatest card you like? You could not believe this card was in front of you.
So we have had the this past show, we have a buddy named Moose that is a reseller of high end cards. They had dual autos of like Kobe and Michael Jordan. They had pieces of a court with Michael Jordan and his auto on it. They had, oh man, it was, I was just in disbelief of what these guys had, and they were doing trades back and forth. And out of what is it? Out of 5 or 10, Patrick Mahomes rated rookie PSA 10. Like he had the whole rainbow of rated rookie Patrick Mahomes in tens, except for the one of one. I really this weekend got to see some of the largest cards I've ever been able to see in person. But I've also been in the same room with one of my buddies is the largest Caitlin Clark collector, and he has the one of one Caitlin Clark logo woman, and that sold on golden auctions for like $985,000, something like that.
Jesus.
And he has that hanging out in his safe and stuff. But so I've been around some monster cards, but I will tell you the one card that my biggest regret that I never picked up is the 2022 Pat Tillman Downtown. I had my chance to buy that for $1,250. I had my chance to buy it at $2,000. Now it's in a PSA 10. It's $15,000 for that card,
Oof.
and it is faked so much that you can't really buy one raw off eBay anymore because you don't know if it's real or not until you get it. And even eBay authentication, I don't trust them half the time with this stuff. But I had the opportunity 2 times to get that card, but in fairness with it, I had just opened up the shop. I had 2 feet of wax. I had a case and a half of my own cards. I had
Yeah.
$1,500 inside the business bank. And do I buy Pat Tillman Downtown, which is my Grail card, or do I buy more stuff for the shop? I
Yeah.
bought more
Yeah.
stuff
It's
for
a
the
weird.
shop, and 2.5 years later, I'm still there. So
What
the story would have
is
been much different if I had to Pat Tillman.
Still